What do you remember about Saturday Night Live?
Oh my God. Okay, I do remember that.
Because you're with Zach Galifianakis, right?
Yes. So I started Playboy I have made more doing this than I ever would have made acting or anything else. And I don't think people relate. Thank you. My experience was completely different than what it was in the younger years of Nickelodeon, and I'll never know what that was really like.
61 episodes of television is so insane to think about, but I feel like so much of life has happened since then. So is everything from that period a blur?
I mean, yes and no. I oftentimes think back to life on set and life on Game Shakers, and I'm so incredibly grateful. It was so much fun, and every day was new. We didn't really know what we were getting into. We would go in for a table read and read the episode for the very first time with all of the producers and Dan and everyone else. So we were going in blind each week, and we didn't know if we had guest stars or animals coming in. So it was always fun. But now that it's been so long since the show's done, I keep trying to keep the memories alive. And I think that's the best way to do it, of just playing back little things that happened on set from one of the first days that we were on set. We were just getting accustomed to everyone that was working. And we were upstairs. I had the biggest crush on Thomas. I'm very open about that. I had the biggest crush on him whenever we started that show. Now, no, I see him like a brother. But in the beginning, he was cute. He looked like Ken. And I was totally attracted to him. He was not attracted to me. But we were upstairs in the production offices. And there was this girl named Karen who ran the social media for Game Shakers and Henry Danger. And I forget what exactly was said to bring up this conversation, but something was said about dream partners. And Thomas was like, yeah, I date someone like Maddie who has a fun sense of humor. And I took it as, oh my God, he loves me too. Oh, it's going to be perfect. We're going to be on this show together and we're going to date. Honey, I was so tripped up in my head that we started walking down the stairs and I pummeled down 2 flights of stairs, pulled the arm rail out of the wall, ended up with a bruise from my armpit all the way down to my hip. And yeah, that was what really solidified, okay, we're a family now. And yeah, that changed my feelings for Thomas after that, because it was just yeah, this is not going to work.
Would people ever ship the two of you?
No.
Never.
I mean, I feel like the most ships that I ever got was me and Babe, which, I mean, I feel like in the way that the episodes were written, I don't think that was the energy, but I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Were you guys, you said that you had table reads. Was that normal for Nickelodeon?
So I can only speak for Henry Danger and Game Shakers, since we filmed on the same soundstage. We filmed at Burbank Studios. So all of the other Nickelodeon shows, they either filmed at Sunset or Paramount. So we were completely isolated. So our schedule was so different than what the other kids talk about on set. So we kind of had a little bit of FOMO in the way that other kids were working and they were working together, and on lunch breaks they could all hang out together. We didn't have that. So we would have table reads, typically on a Wednesday. It later got moved to Thursdays because of the filming schedule as the season went on. But it started off on a Wednesday. We would go in at 7:30 in the morning, go into table read, have lunch right after, go into rehearsal, rehearse all day. And then the next day we would come back at around 7:30, 8 o'clock, do rehearsal all day. And then we would have a run through, which is kind of like doing the episode like a play. So you're just running right through it.
Full through.
And full out. So we would have the first run through, and then the next day we would come back in, have more rehearsals, and then our final run through for all of the execs from Nickelodeon and special guests. And those were always my favorite days, because we had different guests coming in from different people on production that had family that wanted to come see it. But my favorite was the Make-A-Wish kids that would come. They would come almost every weekend, and it was just a fun experience being able to see that these kids that could have anything that they want for their wish, and they're choosing to spend their day with us. I mean, it was so heartwarming and so sweet, and I still keep in touch with a lot of them because it's just sweet and it's so kind, and the fact that they would choose us for their wish is just beyond me. So I wanted to make sure that it was a fun experience for them and a fun experience for us too.
What's your first impression when you find out Kel is part of the show?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, obviously I was
Nickelodeon legend.
I was just blown away. So the whole way the show unraveled was so crazy, because
You didn't get it, or someone else had the role.
Someone else had the role at first. So you did your research. I love it. Someone else had the role first, and Benji wasn't even in the first pilot. So it was just Kel, Thomas, and Cree.
And did you know Nickelodeon is auditioning for people for this show?
Yes. So I had been in the audition process for going on a year.
And are you in the Nickelodeon ether?
A little bit, but like it was kind of just like, okay, if something comes in that's right for you, then it'll come and it'll be like that. But I would go in for these auditions time and time again, and every time it was like, well, we already have the other girl booked. You look too much like her, you're out. So it kept being this like endless cycle. It was like a broken record, honestly. And they filmed another episode, a pilot, which was never released, but they filmed another pilot. Apparently things just didn't work out, so they went back to the drawing board, called me in. I came out to California for the first time.
From North Carolina?
From New York. I was in New York for 7 years in Brooklyn. So I come out to LA from Brooklyn.
And how old are you?
I'm 12. I just had my 12th birthday, which is crazy. I mean, it was always my dream to be on a dance show, but the fact that I get to say, oh my God, I accomplished my childhood dream at such a young age, that's insane. So I come out to California. I'm doing this like big, it's like a producer session, but it was so much more because we were actually like going through different scenes and they would just hand us a scene just to see how we would pick up quickly. And there were like 6 or 7 of us girls, if I'm not mistaken. And we're all standing in this room just waiting. And one by one, the girls are coming in and then they'll come back. And then some girls will go home and then other ones are coming back to the room. So it was just a wild experience. And then I go home. I don't hear anything else about it. I'm just thinking, okay, well, if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. The right thing will find me. And that's kind of the mentality that I have towards a lot of things in life because I feel like rejection, especially in this industry, it's so prevalent and you have to be willing to accept it.
And you had that mindset at 12?
I had to. I mean, I've been acting since I was 7. So from the very get-go, my mom always told me, like, the second you're not humble or grateful to be in the rooms that you're in, you're done. So I always had the mindset of, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm going to soak up every bit of this that I can. And then if it's not going to work out, then it's not going to work out. But I'm going to do my best and make sure that I'm putting my best self forward and being happy and experiencing it as best as I can at that age. And I'm so grateful for that because now, I mean, it's shaped me into the woman that I am today. And I'm so grateful for my mom for that.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what happens when they finally call you that you
So they
get
call
the role?
me. I go back to California for another like run through producer session, but this time we're filming on the Henry Danger stage with actual cameras. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, this is crazy.
And this is the biggest role at this point?
Yeah, this is the biggest role. I had just finished filming a movie with Billy Joe Armstrong and Selma Blair. And that was a big thing for me, but like this is even bigger, which I didn't think was possible. My ceiling was like here, and then it just got raised coming out to California. So I'm like, okay, well, this is awesome. I've never been on like a show's set that I'm currently watching on TV. This is awesome. Like I want to look around and soak it all in. And it was me, Sophia Grace from Sophia Grace and Rosie, the girl that was on the Ellen show with Nicki Minaj, her. And then there was another girl, I cannot remember her name. I think it was like Scarlett or something, if I'm not mistaken. But it was us 3. And we're all going out one by one and just filming the episode in the Henry Danger set with actual cameras. And I guess it was more of a test to see our professionalism level because we had heard rumors as the show went on that like professionalism wasn't a big thing with the other pilot. So they wanted to make sure that this was like a foolproof plan. So we did that and I went back home and just thought again, okay, well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And I told my agent, her name's Leslie. She was my agent back in New York, and I had known her since I was like 7 or 8. And I told her, regardless of if I book it or if I don't, I want to come into the office. I don't want you to tell me until I'm there in person because I know this is either going to be the biggest win or the biggest loss. So I was like, okay, like, just call me. And I will remember this day vividly for the rest of my life. We are spring cleaning at the house. We all look a wreck. There were so many fights happening this day in our house. And I mean, that's just real life. So Leslie calls and she calls mom and she's like, you need to come into the office now. It is the middle of rush hour in New York. And she's like, you got to get here now. So what do? We pile in the car, unshowered, like looking a hot mess. We go into the office and we finally get into the lobby and her assistant was like, oh, she's on a call. You have to wait. Honey, this wait felt like an eternity. We were sitting in the lobby. It felt like an hour. It was probably 15 minutes, but like to me, it felt like a lifetime.
Because this is the call that changes your life.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? I'm like riddled with anxiety of like, okay, is my whole life going to change for the better, for the worse right now? Like, what's going to happen? And finally, she calls me into her office, and I've got this whole thing on video, which is really special. Like, I'm very, very glad she got all of this on camera. I didn't even see that there was a camera in there. I'm like completely just out of it. And she screams, "You booked it." And I just start crying. And that's all I remember, other than like looking around finally and being like, oh my God, wait, when do we leave? And we had 3 days to move out to California. My brother, who's 18 now, he was filming a Showtime show in New York. So my dad stayed out there with him and my 2 younger brothers while they finished out the school year. My mom moved out to California with me. We didn't have a house, so we were staying in a hotel and just flying by the seat of our pants. It was crazy.
So 3 days after you start filming?
Yeah, I had to be out here to start filming.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Do you film the entire season before it airs, or are they...
If I'm not mistaken, I was literally just thinking about this the other day because I'm like, what was the schedule like? Was it like these new shows how you have
like
to wait like an
Thundermans.
eternity?
They film half of it and then they do the other half.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think by the time we got through halfway, the episodes were starting to trickle out, and then the rest of the season would finish up for filming. We would have a hiatus for like 3 months and then come back and start the next season.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
When you find out you're being picked up for season 2?
The biggest win. I mean, it was just each time we got a call back that we were coming back, it was just like, okay, all of this has been worth it. Like, we get to do this more. We get to have more fun, and we get to get closer with each other. And by the time the 3rd season ended, I mean, and we didn't get called back for season 4, it was such a disappointment because none of us were prepared for that. We were fully planning on coming back for a 4th season and already starting to plan. And then whenever I found out after everyone else did, because I wear my heart on my sleeves, and I am very open about that. I'm very in touch with my emotions. That's what I like to say. And Dan knew this, and all of the other kids knew that was our last day filming, but they didn't tell me because I still had scenes to film. So I finished up my last scene, and the kids are saying things in my ear of like, well, it was nice to meet you. Like, we've got to plan stuff. Like, I'm not going to see you again. Like, it was sad. And here I am playing this through my head, and I'm like, wait, is the show done? So I go to Dan, and I'm like, Dan, is the show done? He's like, no, just go film your scene. Go film your scene. And I'm very grateful that he did this now. But in the moment, I was kind of pissed. Like, dude, everyone else knows except for me. I had FOMO. So I finished my scene. Dan pulls me aside, and he's like, look, I didn't want to tell you earlier because I knew that you would get emotional, and that's okay. Like, you have every right to be emotional about this. This is really sad, but this is the situation. We're not coming back for another season. And, of course, I started crying. I mean, that's just me.
How do they know that the show is canceled before it even comes out?
So there were a lot of things that went in for our show specifically and with Henry Danger because they were written by Dan. So Dan ended up leaving Nickelodeon. And it was a whole situation. So that's why the show ended up being let go.
Is that at the time the documentary's coming out?
Yes. So it's right around that same time. So there was a lot of just hoopla. I think that's the best way to describe it, of uncertainty and just not knowing our place and what was going to happen. And then Henry Danger ended up getting another season, and the writers from Game Shakers moved over to Henry Danger, and they were kind of writing on both to begin with. And it was just like, okay, Game Shakers is done, but Henry Danger gets like the floor. So it was really sad to see that they kind of just put us on the back burner. We were kind of like chopped liver, which, I mean, it is what it is. That's business. And you have to know that going into these things of like, look, you're here 1 minute, you're not the next. You're completely disposable, and that's just the industry that we're in.
What was your experience working on Nickelodeon in the show like that?
I loved it. I mean, I have great memories and great experiences that I'll be telling my kids about for the rest of my life. So I'm very grateful for it. I know that I can't speak for other people's experiences, but specifically working with Dan, I mean, I'm very, very grateful for him. I mean, he took a chance on me, and he gave me my childhood dream at such a young age, and gave me the best years of my life, and I got to have fun, and I didn't experience anything like what these documentaries were saying, and I can't speak for other people, but for myself, which I can speak about, I didn't experience anything like that. So
Right.
whenever these documentaries came out, I stood up for them because I can't speak for other people, but for me, I can speak about my experience, and there was not anything like that. And also, we had people with us constantly. Our teachers were with us because that is the law in California. Like, a teacher has to be present with you at all times because the parents were on set with us.
Oh, even while filming?
Yes. So at all times, whenever we were going to Crafty, whenever we were going to hair and makeup, whenever we were going anywhere, a teacher or a PA or someone had to be with us. So we weren't left alone. So my experience was completely different than what it was in the younger years of Nickelodeon, and I'll never know what that was really like. But for us, it was so, you've got a place to be and you've got people watching you, and that's just the way that it was. So yeah, it was just a crazy experience, and so sad that that's what ended Game Shakers, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What's your relationship with Kel now? Because
Kel's great.
I talked to him and he said how he wanted to kind of
I
take
know.
everybody under his wing.
We've got to plan something, and we've been saying that we're going to plan something, but it's been like, I want to say 3 or 4 years since we've all seen each other, and like we keep in touch sporadically. Benji's a little bit of a pancaker, and he knows it. I call him that all the time because we'll plan something, and then something comes up, and he pancakes. But it is what it is. Kel, he's preaching now, which is awesome. So he's been doing that and seeing his kids grow up. I mean, Asia was pregnant whenever we were on Game Shaker, so it's just crazy being able to see like these kids have like an actual life now. Like, it puts it into perspective of like, oh, I'm getting old. And like, no, I'm not old, but like in perspective to how I was whenever I was filming the show compared to now, it's been 10 years since I booked it, which is crazy.
So when your TV show comes out, it's aired on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Does your life change overnight?
Yes and no. I mean, to the outside world, yes, but in my personal life, no.
Everything
I
was
mean,
the same.
it
You're an
was the
actress. You got
same.
lucky. You did this.
Yeah, and it was just, okay, continue on. Like, do your schoolwork, hang out with your brothers, go swim in the pool. The chances that you did have for a break, I mean, we had one day off, and it was Sunday. So my Sundays were spent either at church or sleeping in, and sometimes going to Six Flags because that was like my thing to do. That was my kid time.
Magic Mountain here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those were my memories that I have. So, yes, life changed, but it really didn't change. It was kind of just like, okay, well, you continue on with the same person that you are, and you just make yourself better, and you appreciate each moment, and you go in and you do your job, and you come home and you go to sleep.
Does being visible out there now bring in so many more auditions?
Yes and no. I mean, I've kind of taken a break from acting, and now I'm finally like getting back into it where I want to do it again. But for a long time, I didn't have the drive or the passion for it anymore because whenever you are on a show for so long, that's your norm, and you want a break and you want to figure out who you are. And for me, whenever the show ended, I had a huge identity crisis, and I didn't know who I was, what I was going to do, because you're a character for so long, and everything is dictated for you, from wardrobe and the way that you do your hair, the way that you do your makeup, like everything is dictated. So whenever the show did end, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Like, who am I? And I decided that I wanted to go to regular high school. And
I think
wanted
that's
to
the most fascinating thing about you. To go being a leading actress on a TV show to going to public high school.
Well, okay.
You're nuts.
Yeah, I realize that now. But in the moment, that was normal.
You wanted that experience.
Yeah. And okay, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, she's so stupid for saying this. But this was genuinely my thought. My only experience of high school was like High School Musical and Glee. And
We're going to dance.
yeah, I thought everyone was going to be best friends, and like it was just going to be fun and lighthearted, and I would be popular. And I was not expecting the reality of high school to hit me.
What was the reality?
Honey, I was bullied like crazy.
For what? For
Like anything. The way that
acting?
I dressed, the way that I was on a kid's show. Yeah, it was like literally anything in between.
What grade did you transfer in?
I was a 10th grader.
Oh, so you're a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. So my sophomore year, I go to this school called San Juan Hills. It's in Orange County. And the way that all of this happened was actually kind of funny. I started dating like one of our family friends. His name was Sean. And I started dating him, and he went to San Juan Hills. And his mom's like, well, like, this is the school that you need to go to. And I didn't really think much of it. I was kind of just like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to that school. I had looked at other schools, and I had just talked to my mom about this not too long ago, probably like 3 or 4 days ago, of how I think that if I would have gone to the school that I originally wanted to do in my head, things would have been different. But I
You
mean,
wanted to be a
hindsight's
wildcat.
2020. Yeah, and I was like, oh, public school, yeah. No. Um, so I go, and it was good in the beginning until it wasn't. I mean, I became really close with my teachers, and I still think about them to this day, like Mr. Amer and Mr. Deshawn and Miss Callier. Those were my 3 favorite teachers, and I am so grateful for them because they were my safe space at school. So I'm very grateful for that experience. But, honey, the bullying, I was not prepared for it. I came home crying majority of the days, and there was one girl who I will remember forever, and she was just so unkind. And I think a lot of bullying, especially for girls, comes from a state of like jealousy and insecurity. And whenever you're 15, 16, you don't understand that. You don't realize that. And in the moment you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, like this is the worst thing ever and it's going to be the rest of my life." And now looking back, I'm like, it was just a moment in my life. But whenever you're going through things like that, you can't take a step back and look at the bigger picture of, I'm not going to remember these guys in 10 years. I'm not going to even think about them in that context. They don't dictate my life. They don't dictate the way that I live my life or who I am. They don't know me as a true person. So move on. But now looking back, I'm like, I'm honestly grateful for the experience because I think that I wouldn't be the same person that I am today if those things didn't happen. It also taught me to like think through things before I just act on them. So I'm grateful for that. I'm still working on that a little bit, but I'm getting better about it. At least it's like intentionally thinking. So
It's just so
yeah.
interesting because you go from being on this set with adults and professionalism
Mhm.
and people treat you a certain kind of way
Yeah.
to almost going to like a zoo.
Honey, it was a zoo. It was like Mean Girls whenever they're like having that fight and it's just like animals and honey. It was crazy. It was such a big drastic change, and I thought that was the change that I needed. Maybe I did need it. I mean, I'll never know cuz if I didn't follow through that path, I wouldn't be in the same path that I am now, but I mean, it was just crazy. And then after that year finished up, because my mom said, like, you start something, you finish it. So that was my mindset towards that year. I was not quitting in the middle of the year. I was finishing it out. And then I could decide what I wanted to do after. So I went back to homeschool. I graduated a year and a half early, started college classes, realized quickly, like, yeah, the traditional college route is not for me. So I took a break, started on music again, and it was just there were so many things that panned out the exact way that they should have panned out, and for that I'm so grateful. And you've just got to have trust in the whole journey because there's moments in your life that aren't perfect or aren't the way that you plan them, but that's what makes you stronger and that's what makes you grow into the person that you're supposed to be.
And the music that's where you're self-funding it. You're doing everything
Yeah.
on your own.
hmm
And you did stuff too as a kid, but you just never released it.
Yeah, so I had a whole EP of like 7 or 9 songs,
How
whatever
come
I
you
was
didn't
9
release
years old.
that?
Honey, I was scared. I had so much fear of rejection at that age, which is so stupid because, like, now I'm completely different with rejection. I'm like, okay, give it to me. But at the time, I was so, like, pummeled in my own stress and my own fears and anxieties of what other people would think of me and the songs. And I wish I would have released them. Like, there was one called Hot Pink Pickup Truck, which was hilarious. My dream car as a kid was a hot pink pickup truck. And one of the times that we were driving back from New York to North Carolina, there was a hot pink pickup truck driving down the road, and it was an old man driving it. And honestly, it was probably just a faded red truck, but in my head, it was hot pink. So I made a song about it, and there were just all of the songs were written about my life experience at 9 years old and mean kids at school and the teachers that I didn't like and having spring fever. That was one of my favorite songs. Um, so it was fun. And I always knew that I wanted to do it, but I just didn't think that that was the right path for me.
If you
And
released it, would that have been under the Nickelodeon machine?
no, so not at that time. But while I was filming Game Shakers, I did more music. Never released that either.
But that would have been part of Nickelodeon?
That would have been part of Nickelodeon if I would have decided to like go through those channels and do it the proper ways.
Did
But
they ever try and push you to do it?
no, no, there was never any like you need to do this or you should do this. It was kind of just what I wanted to do. And I'm very grateful for that because I feel like if someone would have been pushing me, I would have said, absolutely not. I had to do it on my own time. And I'm so grateful for the fact that now I am doing music because it makes me so happy. It is my therapy. I go into these sessions and I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. Like, let's write about this. And it's fun because I get to take all of the life that I've experienced. And I know I haven't lived a lot of life, but been working for a long time and I've had a lot of situations. So this has been my way of going through those different life stories and relationships and bad friendships and growing and the hurt and the heartache. But music truly is my heart, my soul. Acting is more of like my passion and the fun.
Where are you now on the musical journey as far as releasing an album?
Okay, so I've got 5 singles that I want to release first. And then the plan is to do either an EP or an album. So originally, this just goes to show, like, you get to really know me. So at like 18, 19, I started planning for an album. And I was completely independent. And I was kind of just doing it the way that I wanted to do it. And I have like 30 songs in the kitty that I was going to put on this album that I was going to release on my 21st birthday.
In the kitty.
In the kitty. I mean, maybe that's a Southern term. Maybe that's a family term. I don't know. But that's just what we call it. Whenever something's like in the tank. Yeah. It's like, it's there, but it's not been put out yet. It's in the kitty. So we've got like these 30 songs that literally nothing has been done with. They're just sitting there because whenever the time did finally come for me to release it, no, I don't like them anymore. I can't release them. So now they're just sitting there. And like, I'll find myself turning them on every once in a blue moon because they are fun. And some of them have special meaning to me. And they helped me through a really bad breakup that I was in. So I'm grateful for that aspect. But as far as if they'll ever be released, I'm not sure. Like, genuinely no clue. But it did fuel me into, okay, I want to be more intentional with this music stuff. So I started working with 9 a.m., which does like a lot of Bruno Mars's stuff and Teddy Swims and big people in the
producing
music
industry.
Yes, producing.
Oh, wow.
So a huge win for me, and I'm very, very grateful. So we did 5 songs. Tic-Tac-Toe, which just came out. And then Cry Wolf is going to be coming out at the end of the month.
Wow.
So,
music video or no?
No music video. So my plan is...
And you didn't do that for Tic-Tac-Toe?
No.
How come?
I feel like if I'm not happy with the way a music video is going to turn out, then I'm not doing it. And for me, I have a high standard for myself and for the way that this music video would be.
I mean, the production on your videos are insane.
Well, yeah, and I like that. And if I can't have that, then I'm not doing it. So my mindset now is, because I'm trying to be more practical with my money, because I am self-funding this. And I was not practical, but that was my college experience. So whatever. That was me like going to a university and spending money on tuition. That was my tuition.
That was the music videos.
Yeah, the music videos, the countless sessions, and the shopping. Because, I mean, honey.
You got to have wardrobe.
Yeah, and I did a lot of custom outfits for all of these sets. Like for all of these music videos and the covers and everything. Because it makes it more fun. So I'm taking a break from that right now and just... being more intentional with it. I'll see what does the best, what performs the best out of these songs, and then I'll do a music video. That way I'm not spending excessive money on every one of these whenever now we live in a day and age where a lot of people don't sit down to watch a music video. I mean, I know I do because I find joy in that, but for a majority of the people, they don't sit down and watch a full video. They'd rather just watch snippets. So I'm trying to be more intentional, but once all of the songs are out, then I'll see which one does the best, and then I'll make a music video for that.
What was the most expensive music video?
Baseball games, 1,000%.
Do you know how much?
Roughly like 65 or 70.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot.
And that's all on production.
And the crew and the outfits and hair and makeup and the location and the director and literally everything else that goes into it. So, yeah, it was a lot of money. And now I'm like, Madisyn, be smarter with your money. I'm very grateful for the situation that I'm in, that I don't have to worry about money now. But it does not mean spend it frivolously, and that's spending it frivolously. So I'm trying to be better. It's still a work in progress, but I mean, that's what we're doing.
So at that point, because I know you started Playboy to fund
Yes.
music.
Yes. So I started Playboy like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere around in there. And that was a whole situation in itself. So before Playboy, and this just like shows my real life. We were living in Orange County. I was not doing anything. I was honestly a loser in my own life. And I take full accountability for that because other people were pushing me to do stuff and I wanted nothing to do with it. I was just being lazy. I was
Managers and agents, they're like, hey, you got
to do something, like go, like post on social media, like you need to be doing this, like you need to be acting. And honey, I wanted nothing to do with it. So
Are you burnt out?
a little bit, like I was just kind of over the industry and LA and life. And I went through a bad spell of depression. And whenever COVID hit, I was supposed to go to an inpatient rehab facility for mental health. And whenever COVID hit, I did not know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was even going to make it through COVID. Like it was a bad situation. And COVID hit. COVID ended up being the best thing that could have happened to me. It got me away from the people that I needed to be away from. It made me more intentional with my time and my family. And honestly, like I'm so grateful for the life that I experienced through that time because now I'm a completely different person than I was. And I've got the coping mechanisms and the tools, and I got into Tony Robbins and personal development. And I'm so grateful for that journey. But all of that was going on too. So I didn't really want to do anything. I was kind of just trying to figure myself out before I even thought about career. And I was 18, 19 years old. I mean, it was just a different time. So one of my girlfriends, Kyla Drew, who was on Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, she called me. And growing up, whenever we were on shows, she was like my one girlfriend that I always hung out with. And I think we hung out a lot because we both liked athletes and sports games. And her mom dated one of the Panthers coaches. So we would just go to games all the time. And that was just our thing. That was our let loose time. So she calls me up. I had not spoken to her in years. She's like, hey, I know this is random and out of the blue, but I'm working with Playboy and we've got a suite to a Clippers game tonight. It was either Clippers or Lakers. It was one of them. Do you want to come? And I'm like, Playboy? No, but a game and a suite? Yeah, I'll go. So I'm supposed to be working a minimum wage gym job at this time. I call in sick to the job.
You just wanted to round yourself out with that job?
Well, yeah, it was life experience. My stepdad is in personal development. He was the lead VP for sales for Tony Robbins. So he's always coached me in the
Your
way
stepdad
of
is?
Yes, my stepdad, which is amazing. So such a big blessing to be brought up in that environment and in that community and having those people in my back pocket of if I need life advice or just some guidance, I can call them up. And
have you talked to Tony?
Yes, and Tony is fantastic. Fantastic.
That's not posted anywhere, right?
I went to UPW, and that was really what changed the whole depression episode for me. I went to UPW, and
What's that?
UPW is Unleash the Power Within. It's like the starting Tony event. And I'm a firewalker. If you know, you know. You walk on hot coals one of the nights of UPW. And it's about showing you that your body is stronger than you perceive and that you can do anything you put your mind to. You've got to get yourself in a peak performance mindset and walk on these hot coals that are burning. So it was crazy. I wish, now looking back, I wish I would have taken it more serious than I did. I did take it serious, but in hindsight, I could have given it more. And I wish I would have, but now it just gives me an excuse to go back and do other events. So that was really what changed the whole trajectory for the way that I process through my own emotions and my anxieties and my coping skills. And yeah, for that, I'm so grateful.
So you find Tony, you get back to yourself, and then she calls you, go to the ball.
She calls me, I go to the ball game, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I called Maher, my manager, and I'm like, Maher, like, don't kill me. I'm going to a Playboy event. And he's like, absolutely not. Like, you don't need to be in that light. Like, that's not a good decision. And I go, okay, I went anyways.
Because you're trying to protect your image at this point?
Well, yeah, he was trying to protect me, and I really do appreciate that now. But in the moment, I was like, you're not going to tell me what I can do and what I can't do. I was also a defiant 19-year-old. Like, what do you expect? So I go to this event, and it was so much fun. Like, I didn't even really socialize with the people that were doing Playboy. I was more so hanging out with my friend and just catching up and telling different stories about life and what had happened and just having fun and watching a game. And then I ended up meeting this girl named Ashley who was with Playboy. And she was talking about how she makes like roughly $10,000 to $15,000 a month on this platform. And I'm like, well, damn. I mean, here I am slaving away at this minimum wage job that I hate, not bringing in that. And like, yeah, I mean, I have some residuals coming in, but Nickelodeon didn't pay residuals. So
Because of kids' TV.
Yeah, because of kids' TV. And they
Is it still being aired?
It is still being aired. So like, we went on a cruise last year, and Game Shakers was on the cruise TV, which was hilarious. And like, of course, I had to turn it on. So yeah, it still plays, and like, it's really big in other countries, which I love. So every once in a blue moon, there will just be like a huge influx of like people from South Africa or Nigeria or Brazil that just come in and they're like, oh my God, I'm watching Game Shakers. I love it. So it's nice whenever I get to see like the other people from other worlds and other experiences watching the show and still resonating it with it like we did whenever we filmed it. So I go to this event, I start talking about how, oh my gosh, like that would be awesome if I was making that much a month and like not having to do anything, because these girls don't show nudity. Some of them do, some of them don't. And I went home and I'm like, Mom, like you'll never believe this. This is crazy. She's like, well, like, come on, like you got to have your own boundaries. Like don't think like that. Like just play things out. You don't need to commit to anything. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Couple months go by and I got invited into the Playboy office. And I'm like, okay, like, do I go? Do I not go? So I go. And my like starting request was, okay, if I'm going to join this platform, I'm not doing any nudity, just because I don't agree with that right now. Like, I don't know what will happen in the future, but I'm going in with, I am not doing anything. So I started off with that and I'm like, okay, and I want a podcast. And they agreed to everything. So a podcast was in the talks, and then there was just no follow through at all. So I'm with Playboy for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then Playboy just started. There was a lot of things that could have happened with the platform or with the situation and the people that were working there. And it just didn't happen. Like there was just, it was very different because whenever you come from a network like Nickelodeon, everything is so hammered out. And especially working on a dance set, everything is made up. And like if something is said, it happens. That's just the way that it is. And I was so used to that way of life that whenever I came into this office and yeah, people are talking, but there's no action.
This is like real Hollywood.
Yeah, this is real Hollywood. And I'm like, honey, this is so unprofessional. So I decided that, okay, well, I'm going to join OnlyFans. And I joined OnlyFans like a year ago, and it's been great. Like, I love it. It's great. It's supplementing my lifestyle and helping me with music. And that was the main thing, because it is expensive to do music, and especially to do music the way that I wanted to do it. It's very expensive, especially whenever you don't have a label behind you. So I needed to figure it out. If I wanted it done my way, that I had to figure out different ways to make it happen. So that's been my life for the past 3 years now, and it's crazy. A lot of people have their own misconceptions about it, and for me, I live my life for myself, and if people don't agree with it, then they don't agree with it. That's fine. That's on them, but I have to live with myself every night. I go home with myself every night, and I'm happy. I'm healthy. I feel so loved and embraced through this, and it's given me the confidence and the love that I never would have had if I didn't go down this route. So for that, I'm extremely grateful.
What are your first month expectations on Playboy and OnlyFans? Because you're coming from like this big thing.
Yeah. So I really didn't know what to expect. I was kind of going in blind, but one of my girlfriends, Mika, she's like, telling you like OnlyFans is so much better. There's like, Playboy has like 3 million people. OnlyFans has like 103 million people.
The
so
pool
like,
is massive.
Yeah, it's huge. She's like, I'm telling you, like, this is going to be the best thing that you do for yourself. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I had the misconceptions in my own head of like, well, like, I feel like OnlyFans is dirtier than Playboy. Like, Playboy has like a better image. And it's just the way that you perceive it. And now that I'm on it, like, it really is what you make it. It's the people that you hang out with. It's the things that you do. And it's the boundaries that you have. And I'm a firm believer in living your life with the boundaries that you approve of and not answering to anyone else. Like, other people are constantly going to have something wrong with the way that you do things in your life, but don't let them dictate your life. I mean, live your life for you. If you're happy, if you're healthy, if you feel embraced and loved, then keep doing it. Like, I, I feel like, especially in this day and age, people are so quick to have their own connotations that they push on everyone else. And for me, I'm like, I think being on social media for so long has really shaped my mindset on this because there's haters everywhere. And from such a young age, I mean, I started Instagram whenever I was 9, I want to say.
And I feel like you're the first of this generation to have that social media from the start.
From the very beginning. And it was just, people were mean. Like, I vividly think back to times that Game Shakers was happening and the DMs that I would get or the nasty comments. And in the beginning, it really did hurt me. But now I'm just like, okay, hurt people hurt people. A lot of these comments are coming from people that live in their mom's basement and they have nothing to do with their lives. So if they want to comment on the way they think I am, then let them. I can't do anything about it. Saying whatever I want to say isn't going to click in their head. So just let them do their own thing. I know who I am. My family knows who I am. I know my character. My friends know my character. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
So was the first month like past your expectations?
Yes.
Good for you.
It was such a big blessing. And like, I vividly think back to this. I mean, it's insane. It is insane. I have made more doing this than I ever would have made acting or anything else. And I don't think people relate. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so lucky and so blessed and so grateful because it's given me and my siblings the life that we've always wanted. So for that, I'm so, so grateful. We don't have to, this is so catty to say, but this is just the truth. Like, we don't have to worry about anything. And that's such a big blessing in life to be able to go out and help other people, but also live the life that you want to live for yourself and for your family. And the fact that we get to go do fun things. Like, we're going on a cruise in November for Thanksgiving. And like, a lot of families don't have the opportunity to do that, but like the fact that we do get to travel a lot and go and do things, and we go to Disney all the time, and it's little things like that, but for me it's such a big thing because it's building memories with my family, and I think that's where a lot of money should go, into building memories and experiences. And I'm so grateful that not only I get to experience this, but my whole family gets to experience it. And
it seems like your mom was a big part of everything.
My mom's my best friend.
When you're 12, you get that first big paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to spend it on anything?
Honey, I bought a Gucci backpack.
When you were 12?
Yeah. Whenever my first paycheck comes, I'm buying me something designer because I had never had anything designer. And Lizzie Green, she was on Nicky Ricky Dicky Naughton too. She had bought this like really cute Gucci backpack. I vividly remember this. It had like a heart on it and like snakes, and it was so cute.
In Beverly Hills, did you go?
No, I want to say it was Century City, I think. This was a long time ago. I have no clue where we went, but we go into this Gucci store, and I knew what I wanted. I wanted a print with like birds and flowers. I still had the backpack. My mom ended up getting a matching bag because she liked the print so much. So it was just a fun experience. And I think that whenever you are a kid and you're bringing in money like this, you should be able to treat yourself. Honey, you're working a full-time job, 10 and a half hours a day, 6 days a week. You deserve a little treat. And if it's going to make you happy, then do it. And I still have this bag, and I love it.
How does it work? Do you get paid on like the lump sum for the season, or is it every couple weeks?
We got paid per episode. And
that's when a check comes in?
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, it went to my accountant, so I'm not really 100% sure. But we would get our check for the episode, and then some of it went into the Coogan account before you're 18.
What is that again? 85%?
No, I think it's like 20%, 15 or 20.
20% goes in the Coogan.
And which honestly it should be more, but at least we have something that's put away. I wish that they would kind of move with the times and at least put it in like a mutual fund to where it is gaining interest, because it's just sitting there exactly what it is. So,
it doesn't get any?
No.
Oh, that's
so
so interesting.
Grow. Which I wish that there was a way for this money to be invested for these kids. That way it really does take care of them, because a lot of people don't have the same situation that I had of like, my money was my money. But a lot of other kids don't have that same experience. I mean, you have to figure out a way to live. And especially if it's a single parent household, there's no way for that parent to be able to support themselves and their kids while their kid's on set all of these days, because a parent has to be present with the kid at all times. And our set was a little different because we were able to sign off like parentalship, like, right? So if one parent was on set, then they could like take accountability for all of the kids. So that happened in the later seasons. But for that first season, my mom didn't work. She was on set in the dressing room every day that we were there, from our call time to our end time. And it was just her life. I mean, her life was spent in a dressing room watching Law and Order SVU. And now she's addicted to it. But I mean, it was so crazy. So we have to give up our childhood, but they have to give up their whole adulthood, which is so crazy and so sad. And I'm so blessed that my mom did that for me. I mean, from the very get-go, whenever I started acting, she quit her job so we could move to New York for me to fulfill a childhood dream that we didn't even know if it was going to go anywhere. And a lot of kids don't have that same loving relationship with their parents, or their parents aren't as jump to like support their kids' dreams. And I'm so, so, so grateful for my mom. And there will never be any way that I'm able to repay her or express enough gratitude for the life that I get to live now because of her giving up her life and her dreams and leaving her mom in North Carolina and her family and her friends for me at 7 to go and try something new in a new city, in a new town, and hoping that it was going to work out. And thank goodness it did. But it could have gone completely different, and I'm so glad that it didn't, but it could have, and she still would have given up everything that she had built throughout her whole life for me. So I'm very, very grateful, and I try to do everything in my power to express that gratitude and that love and that adoration for her, because she is my best friend, and I love her to death, and I wouldn't be the same woman that I am today if I didn't have my mom by my side.
So with that kid actor law, does the money just get released once you turn 18?
Yeah. So you go into Sawyer, my 18-year-old brother. He literally just did this last week. So it's refreshed in my brain.
So he just turned 18.
He just turned 18. He went to, I want to say it's the SAG, something Union, Federal Reserve Bank or something. It's some name. They go into this bank. They go into the office. They have to make an appointment. You show up. This lady writes you a check and you leave.
Because the money's just stored in there.
Yeah, it's just stored there.
That's so interesting. They don't let it accrue interest on anything.
I know. Crazy. But, I mean, thank goodness I had a good accountant on my side. Thank you, Mike, for investing my money that I did have. So I've got a lot of investments, and I'm very, very grateful for that because, I mean, if you invest, and even if you start investing now, by the time you're 65, you're able to live a life that you've always wanted to live without having to work.
Right.
So that was always my goal of like making sure that I'm set up for my future and my kids are set up for their future. I'm trying to do my part and being smarter with my money and investing and doing the proper things that I should be doing. I mean, everyone's young and dumb whenever they first start to get money. And I had my dumb moments, and there were a lot of things that I should not have spent money on, but I did.
Can I ask, like, what? Besides the music video?
Shopping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, now I will say I'm very grateful because I love my closet now. Like, I love all of the pieces in it. I love all of my shoes. But do I need 172 pairs of shoes? No. But I wear them, so it's like, okay, and my feet aren't going to grow. So I'm, like, trying to justify it now because there's nothing I can do about it. But I think that I needed to give myself a little bit of grace because I shouldn't have bought what I bought, but I did. I can't go back and return the stuff all of these years later. So.
You're fun,
I
young,
was young, stupid. Yeah, it's fine. And now I'm a lot better with the way that I live my life, and I'm very grateful for that.
Are you enjoying all of the red carpets and the private invites to the, what are they called? Award shows and...
I love being selective with it because I feel like whenever you grow up in this industry, that's what you're so used to. And like whenever we were on Game Shakers, every day off there was something, or we would leave set and there was an event. And
are you going to those?
I was going to a lot of them, and finally I just got so burnt out. Like it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. I was so exhausted. I had worked all day. I didn't want to go out and have to socialize and be on again. So I would go home instead of going, and a lot of other people were going and doing that whole thing, and I didn't find joy in it. And now I am like starting to go back to events, and I do like it, but I'm trying to be selective with it. That way I don't get burnt out again, because it is exhausting whenever you do have to be on 24/7. And especially if you don't know anyone there, it is, you kind of feel like a fish out of water. And a lot of people would not assume this, but I have really bad social anxiety of like not knowing who I'm going to be around and not knowing how to have a conversation with these people that I don't know. And it's so dumb because I'm in this industry. I should be very good at this, but everyone has their own little things. And for me, I don't like being thrown into social situations where I don't know what the outcome's going to be or who's going to be there or what to expect.
That's what I get so thrown off as. I never know what to expect. I'll wear something really lazy to something that's really done up. I'm like, that wasn't the invite
You're
at
like,
all.
oh, okay. Well, honey, you can just say you're pulling an Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I want to get Gucci shorts and just wear those. I'm like,
Then
hey.
you're set. You're like, okay, well, I'm comfortable. And like, if anyone says anything, then
Oh, it's design. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine. No one needs to know.
It's literally my dream goal. I want to know, working with Billy Joe Armstrong,
Oh my God, yes.
what was that experience like?
It was fantastic. Okay, I had loved Green Day's music as a kid. And whenever this whole situation happened with the audition process for that movie, I didn't think it was going to happen, but the auditions, I would leave the room and I'm like, this felt really good. Like, it felt normal and
Like the
natural.
character's
Yeah,
you.
it felt like me, just a little enhanced, but overall it was me. And I go in for the last audition that I remember, and Billy was in the room, and he got out this guitar and he gave me this guitar. It was like one that he grew up playing.
That's
and I took it home
cool.
with me, and he's like, I want you to get used to this and like that kind of thing. So I had an inkling that I had booked the role, but I didn't know for sure. And I go home, I start practicing this guitar and like just playing around and just being so grateful for like the experience to be able to have even met him and like to be in the audition room with him and like to be touching this guitar, like such a big blessing that I didn't really even think about, okay, well, this movie might not happen. Like, that wasn't even crossing my brain. And then I got the call that I was doing the movie, and I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. Like, okay. And it was just fun. Every day that we were on set, it was fun and lighthearted. And Billy was like my adopted dad. And it was just so much fun and lighthearted, good energy. And Selma, I still keep in touch with Selma, and I love her to death. And I mean, those were the fundamental years. I was 11 whenever I booked the movie and turned 12 on set. And I mean, it was such a crazy time. And those memories are something that I'm forever grateful for. I mean, I think some of those memories might outweigh Game Shaker's memories. Like, there's just little things like the family bond that we had on that set was so different than anything else I've ever experienced on a set. And I'm very grateful for that. And the stories that Billy would tell me. And I mean, even whenever the movie was done filming, he was playing out here in LA and I was filming Game Shakers. And he's like, hey, like, please come tonight. Like, I would love for you to come. And I brought one of my girlfriends with me, and we were in the mosh pit of a Green Day concert, 2 little 12-year-old girls. And we ended up crowd surfing, and it was just so much fun. And then after, because we got over it real quick because people were like starting to push, and we get out of there and we go upstairs with Adrian, his wife, and we're just hanging out, and it was so much fun, so much fun. And I mean, I've got a guitar that was signed by that whole cast that is one of my most prized possessions, and it's on display in my little loft area at the house. And there's little things that I'll never be able to replace or replicate with that experience, and I'm so grateful that I had it at that age.
What was the most shocking thing to you for working on the Peanuts movie?
Oh, okay, actually, it didn't feel like I ever booked it. We never got told we booked it. It was just like we were going in for auditions, and like, it was just a weird experience. I mean, yeah, I probably should have realized like, oh, we're probably filming something because we're doing a lot of scenes, but I really just thought that we were there for another audition, and like even my mom did. So we just kept going in thinking, oh, it's just another audition. Well, like, go knock them dead. Like,
Meanwhile, you have the role.
yeah, I had the role the whole time and like had no clue.
That's
so I'm
Hollywood,
going in-
baby.
It was just so crazy. So we're like showing up for these ADR sessions, and here I am thinking, oh, just another audition, okay.
What else do you remember from that?
Literally, that is like a blacked out memory in my brain. I remember the premiere, and that was really fun because Noah Schnapp, who was in Stranger Things, he was in Peanuts and Francesca Capaldi, and Megan Trainor was at the premiere. And honey, I love Megan Trainor, still do. And I got a picture with her, and that was like the highlight of the day. But honestly, I do not remember anything about filming that.
Wow.
Which is crazy because, I mean, I should remember. That's a really big thing and a big part of my life.
Is the studio like a big Hollywood studio and what you would
No,
picture?
and I want to say that we were filming it in New York, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we would go into this random office. I remember that they had popcorn and like a old school popcorn machine. And we would get like escorted into this tiny little room. And it was literally a mic like this. And there was one person with me. And I'm assuming it's the director. I'm assuming. And we would just go through all of these different scenes and different efforts. And yeah, it was really fun. I don't remember it, which is so sad.
What do you remember about Saturday Night Live?
Oh my God. Okay, I do remember that.
Because you're with Zach Galifianakis, right?
Yes. So I was with Zach Galifianakis. Dude, I'm so proud of you for like your research. Oh my gosh. I did a lot of episodes of Saturday Night Live because we were living in Brooklyn, and we were so close to their offices, like to their soundstage, that anytime they called, we would just show up. And they knew that it was just easy and it didn't matter. Like, I would show up. I was willing to do whatever. And I still have that mindset of like, okay, if I'm asked to do something, just do it. Why not? So I think the first one was a commercial for like incontinence, if I'm not mistaken. And the dad is like spraying everyone with a water gun while we're at like the table. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first one. And then I did the Zach Galifianakis one, and that was so fun. He was like interviewing us, and it was just, we were just being stupid.
Because you were auditioning to be his assistant.
Yeah. And it was dumb, and it was funny, and he was so lighthearted and had good energy that it made the day easy. And then there were a few more, but I don't remember the other ones. Oh, no, there was one where he was always naked. The dad was always naked, and they had him in like a skin suit, like it looked like skin colored, and like they blurred it out on the camera, but all of us were taking like a family picture, and then he's just like a nudist in the photo. That was one of them. So there were a bunch of fun ones that it was just fun energy, and the fact that I got to do Saturday Night Live, such a big blessing.
And are you doing the whole thing of you're going to auditions, this is what you want to do,
Yeah.
you're a kid actor, you're gonna make it happen?
I was doing everything in my power to make it happen, and I did not care what anyone said. I was doing it. And I always had that mindset of like, no one can tell me no. And I think that's why I'm so like defiant and type A now of like, no, if I want to do something, I'm doing it my way. And I vividly remember back in North Carolina, my mom was working in the hospital. So I was going to a daycare center in the beginning, and there was this kid. He was so mean. I don't remember his name, but he told me that I was not going to be an actress. And I knew that I was going to be an actress. I was going to be on TV. He's like, no, you're not. And I bit him. And like, no, I shouldn't have bit him, but I bit him because I knew I was going to do it. He was just like egging me on. So I got kicked out of the daycare program, was not allowed to go back. And I went and like spent the rest of my time with my grandmother. So I was at my grandmother's house while my mom was working in the hospital. And I'm a firm believer that the reason that I truly am doing what I'm doing with acting and music is because of my grandmother. My grandmother is such a big supporter and like pusher in my career, and like I mean, from such a young age, we were playing Pet Shop and scarf dances and going in to see the Tree Man and going to see the doctor. So we were constantly playing make believe and pretend, and it was just your wildest dreams became a reality with her. And whenever I did decide that I really wanted to do acting, it was because of her. I was like, okay, like I can do this. Like I've had all of this practice. Like I can do it. And from the get-go, it was just like, yeah, this is what I've been meant to do this whole time. And now, I mean, I still call my grandmother, and she's like, I don't believe you whenever you say that. And I'm like, it's true. Like, I genuinely would not be the woman that I am doing what I do in like the entertainment industry and music and acting and everything if it wasn't for you. Like, you are the reason I am the way that I am. Like, I'm very expressive and a lot for a lot of people, but that's just the way that I was raised, and I love it, and it makes me me, and a lot of that is attributed to her because she is that same way.
You're outgoing, you're fun,
Yeah.
you're able to judge, and that's where you run into Sasha Farber.
I know! What a small world.
So did you go up to him, and then you guys, how do you do the
I don't remember how
TikTok?
exactly it happened, but we had like met at lunch, if I'm not mistaken. And then we left the lunch and he's like, hey, do you dance? And I'm like, no, but I can. Like, you should teach me. That's your job, right? And it was just funny and lighthearted. And we started off with a different dance. Honey, I could not learn it. It was really hard. It was really difficult. Couldn't get the timing down. We're like in a crunch to run to makeup for like the other show. And I'm like, okay, well.
Because you're judging Miss Teen USA.
Yes, I'm judging Miss Teen. He's judging Mrs. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just figure something out. So finally, like after filming for probably 30 to 40 minutes in the casino trying to get this dance down, we're like, okay, scratch this. We'll figure something else out. We walk downstairs. We're going to hair and makeup. And I'm like, oh, wait, why don't we just film it here and like see if people will walk by in the background? Like that would be funny. So then we did it downstairs, and that's the first video that came out. And then we were hanging out that whole time. Like he's a good guy. He's got funny energy. He's a lot like me in the sense of like just very out there, and like people either love it or hate it, and there's no in between.
Would you ever do Dancing with the Stars?
I think it would be so much fun. I can't promise that I would be a good dancer, but I would try, and I would put my best effort out there. And I think it would be really fun to do like the cute outfits and see who my partner would be, and it's a fun experience.
Let's campaign you and Sasha.
Let's do it.
Get you in the
honey,
ballroom.
We got to be back in there. Sasha's got to be back, honey. Like it's not the same without him.
I agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I ever was to go on Dancing with the Stars, I think I would be like, okay, well, I gotta have Sasha. Sorry, that's my one rule.
Would you ever do anything else like Special Forces or Traders or?
Okay. So
Maybe
I live under a rock.
Oh, you don't know?
I didn't know what Traders was, but Candace, who was on my panel for Miss Teen, she's like, oh yeah, I'm on the new season of Traders. And I'm like, Traders? What is Traders? And she's like, oh, it's like for the reality TV star villains. And I'm like, okay, so what is Traders? And like she's trying to explain it. Now I've got to go do my homework. I've got to watch the seasons. That way I'm ready for her season to come out and I'm able to be supportive. But I had no clue what that show was. I think it would be fun, like the way that it's described, it's like Clue. I think I would be really good at that. I don't know if I would be a traitor or like the good person. I'd probably be a good person because I don't know if I could be a traitor. Maybe I could. Maybe it would like throw people off. I don't know. But that's like my homework to watch that season. I think doing Special Forces, that would be fun.
Do you think you could hang?
I think I could pull it out of myself. I mean, if I put my mind to something, I'm making it happen. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing because if I get like my mind stuck on something that I shouldn't be doing, I'm like, well, I'm doing it anyways, just like prove people wrong. But I think if I told myself, yeah, like this is what I'm doing, I'm going out there, I'm going to do the best that I can, I'm going to put my best self forward and train like crazy for this experience, I think I could do it. And I think I would shock people because I do have a lot of drive and ambition. I just like need to harness it. And I think if I harnessed it in that way, then it would surprise people. Maybe. I don't know if I could get over the fear of heights, though. That's a big thing that
That's the first thing they're going to do, hang you from a helicopter.
I know. And I don't know if I'd be able to do that. So that would be my one, like, oh, I don't know. And I'm not the best swimmer, so maybe not the swimming, like being like suffocated underwater. Oh, I don't know. But I'd be willing to try it, maybe.
What do your days look like now? Are you on auditions? Are you trying to
I'm
get back in acting?
I'm still like, I just did headshots last week. So we're like starting the thing to go back into it, which is really exciting. And I actually want to do it, which is really exciting too.
What's a dream role?
Oh, I would say either something to do with murder, because I love me a good like true crime, like what they did with Monsters. I love. So I'm like, ooh, something like that would be really fun. Or I would love to do like a Sandra Bullock-y, like romance, rom-com, kind of like The Notebook kind of vibe. I think that would be fun too. So I don't know, maybe like a little dark energy, like you don't really know what's up her sleeve, but I think it would be fun.
You just did a movie too, wasn't Jack Griffo and Jenna Davis and...
Yes, I did. That was Stay at Home.
Yes.
So I just filmed that. That was like a random thing. I knew the director, and he's like, hey, like, this is a little role, but like, I'd love for you to do it. Are you down to do it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So it's really crazy. It's me in a hot tub, like, trying to seduce this guy. And it ends up being a setup, and I end up getting killed.
On camera?
On camera.
That's cool.
Which is really fun. And it's like an old school, like 80s slasher thrill.
Is it like that? That's how you go out?
Oh, honey, yeah. And it's It is insane. Insane. Let's just say I was in a white bikini and honey, that white bikini was red. Red.
What's it like watching that scene back?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. So I have no clue. I have pictures from whenever we were filming because I was covered in red cornstarch and my body was stained. My feet were like completely red on the soles of my feet. And I've got photos of me like standing in a trash bag so I didn't get like this blood cornstarch mixture all over this white marble. So I'm like walking, huddling in a trash bag. And my mom was taking pictures and it's just me being stupid. And that was a really late night. We filmed at like midnight till like 3 or 4 in the morning. So it was a long day for me. My bedtime is typically 9 o'clock. So that was outside of my norm, but it was really fun. And it was a great experience.
Is that like a guaranteed sign-on when you find out you're getting killed on camera?
Honey, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I don't watch scary movies, but
I'll
I would love to be killed in one. That was always like something that I would have loved to have done. And now to be able to say, oh, I've done that. I'm like, oh, I really liked that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, I could do more of that.
Well,
so maybe we like go down the horror path. Like the old school, like Carmen Electra, old school 80s slasher girls that were in all of these horror movies.
Yes.
I think that would be really fun.
well, you're crushing it. You're
Thank
such a talented
you.
actress. When is the new music coming out?
So there's a new single coming out at the end of the month, which I'm super excited for. That one's called Cry Wolf. And it's a very fun play on words. All of these songs have double entendres if you listen to all of the lyrics.
Oh, do they?
Oh, really? Really? Do they? I live my life like a 13-year-old boy. I mean, I've got the dirtiest mind. I tell the most crazy, dirty jokes, but it's funny. And I live in a house full of boys, so maybe that's why. So all of these songs just really encompass my personality to a T. And Cry Wolf is about this guy that I was in a relationship for 2.5 years that it was a really bad relationship, and I'm very grateful to have learned and grown from that relationship. But it was really hard. He was cheating on me the whole time, and he had a drug problem, and there were a lot of other situations throughout that relationship that I wasn't prepared for. And it was always like he got to call all the shots. So tic-tac-toe was about me being like the actual game master and calling all the shots, and it's my game that you're playing. So that was tic-tac-toe, and then Cry Wolf is more of like, you're the boy who cries wolf. Well, honey, I'm the wolf. Like, you think that you're, oh, scary, scary, scary. No, like, I'm the wolf, baby. So it's a fun one. The cover art, we had a few different ideas whenever we were filming cover art, but like I said, if I'm doing something, I like to do it full out and crazy. So I had all of these outfits made from trashy lingerie in LA.
Oh, great.
And which I love. A lot of my wardrobe is from trashy lingerie because it's just so fun. And
You can get custom stuff made there?
yeah, so I have them do custom stuff for me. So they made the tic-tac-toe outfit. They made all of these outfits for all of the singles. And I've got other stuff in my closet from different things that I've done. Like whenever I went to the Hustler Club in Vegas, they made that outfit. It just makes it fun. A lot of my things from either music videos or different appearances, they're either from Trashy or this girl named Maggie Berry, and she does custom stuff too. So those are like my two places that I go to. But we've got a wolf costume and then one that looks like Little Red, but she's pink because, honey, I'm pink. Like, yeah, so it's fun. And the original idea was to do like a little split image of both of them, but got a little crazy. So now that one's just going on Instagram, and just the wolf is going to be the cover art. But
Okay.
it's fun, and I love it. I'm happy to be working with the team that I'm working with, and I can't wait for everyone to hear these songs because they mean a lot to me. And I think one of my favorites is this song called Heavens to Betsy, and it sounds like a sweet lullaby, but if you listen to the lyrics and you look at them, it's very far from a lullaby. And that one was just so much fun to make and write, and it was just such a fun experience in the studio doing that one that I think that one takes the cake. Cry Wolf was probably the most fun session that I had in terms of we were just dancing and singing, and like I was taking edibles. Like that's typically my path that I take whenever I'm doing my sessions. I take me an edible, and I'm really creative. And I had ingested way too much that session, but it worked out because a great song came out of it. We were having fun, and I've got videos of all of us in the studio just acting like hooligans, and it was truly a great session. So I can't complain.
Cool. That'll be on Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everything.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice meeting you.
You as well. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That was so good.
That was so fun.